We have breaking news into Sports Center. Senior NBA insider Shams Charania joining us now. Shams, what can you tell us?
Jay, Luka Doncic, the All-NBA star for the Lakers, has signed a 3-year, $165 million max contract extension. He was set to be a free agent next offseason, but he commits to a 3-year extension now. And this is 6 months to the day that he was traded in February to the Lakers in arguably the most stunning sports deal ever. And this is a massive change for Luka Doncic. Being in Los Angeles, it's been an emotional last 6 months, but he commits now to the Lakers through the next 3 years. And Jeannie Buss, Rob Pelinka, the new owner Mark Walter, they've built a close rapport with Luka Doncic and his inner circle to get him to commit here. And now Luka Doncic, he's going to be the face of this Lakers organization moving forward. When they acquired him in that trade, they wanted him to be the face for the next decade. And already this offseason, I'm told he's recruited Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton to the Lakers. And most importantly, Jay, about the money as well. In that trade, he lost out on a Supermax contract with the Mavericks this offseason. But in 2028, he's going to have a player option in that deal. He can opt out of the deal and sign a projected 5-year, $417 million contract that would then allow him to recoup all the money that he lost in that Supermax that he missed out on this offseason. So Luka Doncic is committed to the Lakers, 3 years, $165 million today.
Committed to the Lakers for 3 years and with an opportunity to recoup all the money lost after the trade from Dallas to Los Angeles. It looks like a good day to be Luka Doncic. Shams Charania breaking the news here on SportsCenter about Luka's new contract. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, Luka Doncic off to an historic start to his career, averaging the 6th most points per game through a player's first 7 seasons in NBA history.
Cities around the world to cities closer to home. We're looking at you here, Dallas. Luka's rededicated himself. You can see it here, shedding some weight, looking to be in the best shape of his NBA career, which is a scary thought when you consider that Luka is the only player in NBA history to average 28, 8, and 8, and the only other players to even average 25 and 5 in each of their first 7 seasons, Oscar Robertson and LeBron James. So we now welcome in our NBA reporter, Dave McMenamin, who's covering the Lakers, as well as our front office insider, Bobby Marks here. Dave, I'm going to start with you. As the window to sign this max deal inches closer, where is Luka Doncic right now?
Well, literally, Malika, Luka Doncic is in Chicago right now. Okay. He is in the middle of a promotional tour for Jordan Brand. He, for the first time in his NBA career, came back to the States in the summertime to break up his vacation in Europe. And it started in New York, and now he's in Chicago. He did a boat tour yesterday. And then he's going to make his way to Los Angeles. And obviously, figuratively, where he's at is going to be contemplating a fat contract offer on his plate, as you mentioned, come August 2nd. And hey, it's a kind of a big moment right now. 6 months ago to the day was when he was traded from the Mavericks to the Lakers. And a half year later, he's going to get to decide whether his life for years to come will remain in Los Angeles.
6 months to the day. I didn't realize it. It's funny how life works like that sometimes. And you frame this as a decision here, Dave. Bobby, is it cut and dry? This is a contract that Luka's going to sign? Or does he have some more decisions that he was going to make on how this deal could actually look?
Malik, I think the decisions that he's going to have is going to be the length in the contract here. He's eligible for 4 years up to $229 million. That's starting on Saturday. The one option certainly we can focus on is taking a shorter contract, which would be 3 years, $165 million with a player option in that third year. And why the short-term option is because that third year, that player option year, would have him with 10 years of service in the summer of 2028. And get ready for this number. He would now be eligible for 5 years, potentially $417 million that summer. So all that money he lost in the Supermax from Dallas, he could definitely recoup that and then some 3 years from now.
Wow, 5 years, potentially $417 million. Bobby, Dave, thank you so much for your insight. We will be monitoring this closely here over the next 24 hours. Ramona, I'm curious, as Bobby lays out these numbers, it seems like it makes the most sense for Luka to sign the 3-year 165 because 5 years, I'm going to say it one more time to Amon, who played in the league at some different, 5 years, $417 million, recouping some of that loss here from Dallas. What will this signify for Los Angeles, whether he signs 3 years or he signs 4?
I think if he signs any years, that signifies a lot. That means, because he didn't ask to be traded here, as we know. Right? I mean, you have the video of him throwing the phone to prove it, right? When he got the trade. But he has embraced Los Angeles. He's done everything to signal that he's happy here. I know that he's had good meetings and conversations with everybody in the front office. They've been in touch with the new owners who are going to come in here. And let's talk about that number you said again. 5 years, $417 million.
Yeah.
Mark Walter, who owns the Los Angeles Dodgers, didn't bat an eyelash giving Shohei Ohtani $700 million. Okay?
Baseball doesn't have salary guys. It's a different thing.
700. That's just. I mean, it's just a lot of money for all of us, right? But they got it.
Right.
They got it. And if he signs here and commits to the Lakers, they win the summer.
Right.
That's it. There's teams out there right now waiting to see if Luka extends with the Lakers. Because if he doesn't, he's the biggest free agent to hit the market in years.
You know what I like about him? When he walked into L.A., he embraced it.
Yeah.
Gave money for the fires, gave money to, fix a Kobe mural. And then one thing about the Lakers, which is pimped by them, can I say that?
Yeah.
Okay. That's Sean.
Is
they always have a star.
Yes.
I've never seen any team
Hollywood,
in sports
man.
do this other than Real Madrid. Like you got Jerry West and Elgin, Magic Kareem, Showtime Lakers, and Shaq and Kobe, then LeBron comes, and then you got the guy after LeBron.
Right.
That's incredible.
It's a nice city to sell at the same time.
It's a franchise too, though.
But what do all of those players have in
Clippers here,
common?
too.
All of them.
That's stars.
They all brought championships to Los
Right.
Angeles. All of them brought championships to Los Angeles. And what I thought was interesting in the discourse over the last week that Dave McMenamin and others have been reporting is that Luka isn't signing this as a feel-good moment of he's a loyal guy and he wants to stay with the Lakers. He's signing this because he's also saying, okay, let's do it. Let's go win. Let's go win now, Amon.
No, without a doubt. I think that when you look at somebody like Luka and you look at what he came from, the reason he's so good is because he comes from a winning brand of basketball. When he was playing overseas, when he was younger, of course, he was playing pro earlier. But when you look at his collection of work, all you see is winning qualities. And now we want to see him win on the big stage.
And so, again, tomorrow is the day that he could agree to this contract. Now, despite the Lakers trending towards putting the cherry on top of a very productive summer here, LeBron James, let's read the tea leaves. We're just, all right? I'm not going to pretend to know what this means because the NBA's all-time leading scorer, he posted this image of himself working out in front of, as the internet was quick to point out, some Clippers signage. The caption, quote, say whatever you want, but you damn sure won't be able to say I didn't put in the work. We'll see what happens when I no longer exist. And then some expletives as the little cherry on top here. Now,
What happened?
Ramona, that's my question. What had happened? I know this is the old Clippers facility. This isn't like a new, he's not working out.
Yeah, he's not down.
Yeah,
listen,
but still.
We know he lives on the west side of L.A. I think the old Clippers facility in Playa is closer to where his house is than the Lakers facility. Okay. And also his agency rents the space, so he works out.
All of that.
All of that tracks, okay? However, there were 12 photos in that gallery that he posted on Instagram.
Lovely array.
And only one of them had Clipper signage, and it was the first one. Okay. Now, the caption to me is equally as interesting because when he says, it's basically saying, you're going to miss me when I'm gone, just when I'm no longer here. And that to me feels like he has he's signaled through social media and a lot of his posts and a lot of his actions all summer long, which is he does not feel appreciated right now. This is awkward. This transition from Luka to LeBron, where LeBron was going to write his own Hollywood ending. This is the place he wanted to end his career. He wanted to have control over how many years that was going to be and on what circumstances he was going to play with his son. And now he doesn't have control over it because they didn't offer him more than just this year. He picked up the player option. They didn't discuss any years after that. This is the last year with the Lakers. That's awkward. And he's never had a situation in his career where he has not had full control of where he's going to play and how much longer he's going to play.
Without a doubt, I see it, what you're saying, like the storybook ending. I get that.
And he deserves that, by the way.
Without a doubt. But I think we're all missing the point that that's a Jay-Z capture. That's a Jay-Z.
Yeah, that is.
Like, let's see what happened when I no longer exist. F this. And then he hangs up. You hear the headphones come off on the song. So it's like, it's one an ode to Jay-Z.
Right?
But he's also telling you guys, like, hey, what else can I do out here? You know what I mean? Y'all got a new face coming in. Soon I won't be here. But I just want y'all to know it's going to go my way, the way I said it's going to go, as far as going out on my own terms, going out playing healthy. And this is like the healthiest career we've seen, is it not?
I'm giving you Amon's Pulitzer is on the way here for dissecting.
That was great reporting.
For dissecting this. That was excellent reporting.
How can we go from Toy Story to Jay-Z in one show?
I just, I can't go away from it. I just can't go. When I read the caption, I don't immediately think how a fan would think. I'm hearing Jay-Z.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm also like, wow, we are nearing the end of what we're calling greatness. We've been witnesses the whole time, and now we can't.
Right. And by all accounts, LeBron has been very happy with Luka. He's been a fan of him for a long time. He tried to sign Luka to his under his shoe umbrella. He's a fan of his. This is not,
Are we reading tea leaves?
Amon just read them.
I would love to see that pick and roll for a see that pick and roll for a little bit, Brian. Let me get 1-2 years, pick and pop, you know what I'm saying? Long enough for Bronny to get out there, do his thing, and then
Bryce. He was also wearing a Bryce.
Go ahead, Mark. Teams start figuring out how you're going to say goodbye to this man. He's giving you a warning. I remember going to see Kareem's last game in Golden State, and they gave him a boat. What is everybody going to give him? I feel like the farewell tour is starting. It's going to include the All-Star game. It's perfect for that. Get ready to get your final gifts and get the rocking chair out of there. I just feel like this is the end.
This is also what he does every summer. Like this late July, August, where he's like, remember a couple years ago he was like #Wash King.
Yeah.
And I don't remember anybody calling him Wash King. I think somebody might have.
Yeah.
He probably got called. Oh man, that could be a joke.
And this is his like, I'm working hard in the offseason. I'm up at 5 a.m. This is my motivation, and I'm sharing it with all of you.
And
Malika, so Mikal Bridges is taking about $6 million less than his maximum contract. So a slight discount, and it's much less than he was set to make potentially as a free agent in 2026. So before he could get to free agency, the sides lock in this deal that now secures his future there. So $150 million deal. And the biggest thing here is now Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, the last couple off seasons have taken discounts less than the max deal that allows the Knicks to stay under the second apron, continue to build a roster, and have flexibility in doing so. And Mikal Bridges, the most durable player in the NBA, guards all the top all-star caliber players around the league on a nightly basis. And so this is a Knicks team that now has Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, Karl-Anthony Towns, all locked in. They've got their top 5 players all locked in for the foreseeable future. $726 million total between these 5 players. And Mikal Bridges had the biggest questions. What would his future be moving forward? He did have an up and down year at times. So for him to lock in $150 million, he is now off the board, as well as Jalen Brunson. Those are obviously 2 guys that have had major extensions the last 2 years. And an interesting wrinkle, Malika, Mikal Bridges is now ineligible to be traded for the next 6 months. He is off the board. So if there is a major move around the league the next several months, and if the Knicks are involved, Mikal Bridges will not be involved in that.
Shams, I'm not very good at math, but by my math, not eligible to be traded for 6 months. The trade deadline, it is 6 months and 5 days away. So maybe not for the next couple of months, but it's not off the board for the entire season. Shams, as always, we appreciate the insight. We'll be standing by for any potential news that comes down the pipeline. One thing that Shams mentioned about Mikal Bridges, the dude brings a whole lot to the table. He mentioned him being an Iron Man. Well, that streak continued last season. He led the league in minutes for the 3rd time in the last 4 seasons, and he still hasn't missed a game ever in his entire NBA career. And after shooting just 57% around the rim in his last season with Brooklyn, Bridges shot 74% on those same shots in the 2024-25 season, second best in the NBA, behind only Jared Allen, according to Genius IQ. Now, Bridges also ranked 2nd in the NBA in the most fadeaway jumpers, made fadeaways, that is, behind the MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But actually, Bridges had a better field goal percentage than SGA on those fadeaway jumpers when they were heavily contested. Also, according to Genius IQ, Bridges lived up to his reputation as that lockdown defender, was one of just 6 players to take at least 1,000 half-court matchups against players to make last year's All-Star game. So, Aman, clearly he brings so much to the table here. I don't know that we saw the best from Mikal Bridges when you look at his entire season last year for the New York Knicks. Obviously, you think of those big blocks he had against the Boston Celtics, but how can the Knicks maximize him?
When you talk about maximizing a guy that plays on the wing, it always essentially comes down to, one, what you're doing on the defensive end, and then what your point guard is willing to do as far as early on in the shot clock for you, right? So making somebody like Mikal Bridges dangerous is getting him out in transition for pitch ahead so that he can be creative, he can get out there on the floor, enjoy himself. That's what gets you smiling, that's what gets you confident, and that's what starts making shots fall down for you. When you talk about a streaky shooter, making him a streaky shooter is when you give him less touches and expect more efficiency out of him. When you make sure everything's easy, you get out and pitch it ahead, you make sure he's playing in transition, you keep Mikal Bridges happy, and I think that's up to Jalen Brunson.
Did they find something, though, when Jalen Brunson was out of the lineup? In those 15 games that he missed, Bridges averaged over 20 points a game. So now with Bridges back and Bridges back, and Jalen Brunson back in the lineup, they're going to have to find that magic while they're both out there.
Well, Mike Brown's in this lineup, too.
Yeah.
And I think Mikal, if he's being honest, probably wasn't happy with how he's been used offensively since he's been with the Knicks. I'm not speaking for him, just my guess. This is the lowest points per game and shots taken since he was in Phoenix. But now Mike Brown is known for his fast play when he was with Sacramento. 22-23 season. They led the league in offensive rating and scoring. I expect the Knicks to play fast under Mike Brown, which should complement Mikal Bridges and his strengths.
Look, I think they're going to play faster than they did last year, but they don't have De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is the guy who made them play fast, right? And so I think they're going to change a little bit. One of the reasons why they wanted to make a change at coach was because there just wasn't enough versatility in that offense. Like, teams would throw a defense at them, and they didn't have enough adaptability. And so you see things like where Jalen Brunson is out, and then Mikal Bridges comes in and has an elevation, but when they're together, they're not able to necessarily lean on each other quite as much. Mike Brown's going to be tasked with making everyone better and having some versatility and optionality in how they play off.
And Tibbs did have him 5th in offensive rating last year, so they did move the ball. Not Fox, but they do push it.
Yeah, and I think the issue for the Knicks is they gave up a lot to get Bridges, 5 first-round draft picks. And so, Sean said, he took a little bit less so they could stay under the second apron. They still have to re-sign. They still have to decide how they're going to get Mitchell Robinson back and Karl-Anthony Towns back. That's going to be some interesting salary cap management to stay under there and keep flexibility. But it wasn't that much less. Like, I actually thought his agents did very well in this contract.
Without a doubt. I just know that when it comes down to it, it's all about playing with your toys. We can't hear Andy's coming and everybody just fall on the floor right now. It's got to be that thing that...
That's like Toy Story reference.
Exactly. When we're all on the court together, he knows how to play with his toys. As much as we love Jalen Brunson, I think his usage has to go down a little bit for those guys to flourish. And if you want the most production out of somebody, you got to play with your toys.
Increased ball movement is going to help with that under their new coaching staff here. But I'm curious how much Brunson is going to have the ball in his hands next year, if that's something that we can maybe see adjusted.
Exactly. It could be adjusted. We don't want it to happen at the wrong times. I think you still want him to be who he is, right? You have to be ball dominant sometimes to get a lot of the things done that you have to do in the league. But when you say pick your spots, we're talking about fourth quarter time to do that. Throughout the game, you can make sure you share the sugar a little bit more, and I think it has to be a conscious thing for Jalen Brunson. It can't be one of those things where the game's coming to him. Sometimes it goes against your personal what you have going on, but you know these things, I'm sacrificing just a little bit for you guys. I might not sacrifice millions.
Which he did. He made sure to sacrifice a couple just to make sure everyone could sign.
Without a doubt, but it's one of those things where it's easier to make sure to say, hey, man, I'm going to let you have this. I'm going to let y'all have that. We can all still get our numbers. We can all still have a rhythm toward the end of the game. But at the end of the game, you guys know I'm going to have the ball in my hands a little bit more, but I'm going to make sure we get across the finish line.
And you know the thing that cures everything is winning, right? And the Knicks, they believe in Bridges enough to invest $150 million. The odds makers, they believe in New York as well, because outside of the Thunder, the Knicks have the best 2026 title odds as the calendar turns to August. Do you, Mark, see New York as the biggest threat to OKC?
Ooh.
Stuff like this.
I mean, I guess they're the biggest threat because they'd be coming out of the East. Hey, that's why. I do think their team is better. You know, I love Tibbs, but Mike Brown's a really good coach too. They got some shooting coming in. Yabusele and JC coming in. That's what they're missing. They're the last team standing from the East, right? The Celtics aren't going to be there.
Right.
Indiana's not going to be there. Cleveland has to prove themselves. Yeah, I like the Knicks.
Yeah, I love the Knicks. You know, guys.
You were wiggling. You like the Knicks.
I do. I realize when you start seeing the chips lay out and you start seeing, you're like, wow, this is another great route for them. I think that's what happened while we watched them go through the playoffs, right? You see them beat Boston and you're like, wow.
Yeah,
like,
why not?
Why not the Knicks?
And that's the thing with Bridges. He did his job in that Boston series. They got him for the express purpose of guarding the Jays, guarding Jason Tatum, guarding Jaylen Brown. He did that in that series. He did his job. And so he might have had an up and down season, but he was there for them when it mattered. And
they're returning their core. That's really important to be able to have all of those guys together, like Big Body Brunson, as our friend Carter Perkins says. Hey, on the spot. We're going to throw out a couple of topics, and I'm curious your takes on this. We're going to start with De'Aaron Fox, eligible for a 4-year, $229 million extension from the Spurs. That's going down this Sunday. Iman, is Fox the best long-term fit next to Victor?
I love this for them. I think that he brings everything that he needs to bring to the basketball floor, and if you give him enough weapons, that is one of the guys that I feel like knows how to play with his toys. I think De'Aaron Fox is the fastest thing with a basketball since I've seen John Wall put 2 holes in his back. He's a bowling ball.
Fox, Castle, Harper, good problems.
Yep.
I feel great for their GM. Like, what do you do? And it makes it so Harper doesn't have to rush. There's no pressure on him. He could take his time, but in 2 years, like, what do the Spurs do? Do they feel like they have to move one of them? If they do, like Wemby, who you want to keep? It's the business of it.
Very.
They made the decision of whether they're going to extend him when they traded for him. I mean, you don't go trade for De'Aaron Fox and not get ready to extend. So I think it's just he's the older guy now. I mean, you know, Chris Paul's out here in LA, so he's not the De'Aaron Fox is the vet now.
That's crazy.
San Antonio.
That makes me so old.
How did you feel on your knees on that?
Even 30?
Well, remember, Fox wanted to play with Victor Wembanyama, and this is a trend that we've seen guys of all ages over the last couple of years. You reported that Damian Lillard at one point was interested in playing with Victor. De'Aaron Fox is the guard that was actually able to put pen to paper, and now we're seeing him in San Antonio. I don't know if it's this year. I think the over-under win total is probably about correct. They're going to be fighting for that 9-10 play-in spot. But in the next couple of years, the sky is the limit for Victor. We've wanted that sort of quick guard to be able to set him up. All right, next up, I'm going to put you on the spot again. We're off to the Philippines now. That's where Ja Morant, you see, get his little gritty out fans.
I'm hoping he's getting some lumpia.
But did you see this? Morant's new shoe, after his little gritty, is marked with this line. It says, quote, "Happy Ja is a scary Ja." So, Aman, you think that Ja, once again, happy, as we're seeing here, is going to be all NBA scary again?
Well, listen, Ja Morant could be happy, he could be sad, he could be crying. I don't care what he is.
Any of the 7
He's
dwarfs?
gonna be all NBA. When you talk about somebody that's that athletic, the only thing that can stop it is, I don't even want to say it.
Yeah. No, don't say it.
I don't want to jinx nothing, but I'm saying that that's the only thing that can stop him from being on the court and showing us what we want to see. He's in love with the game, and that's apparent no matter when you see him playing basketball. But he loves it.
He has stopped himself.
He has stopped himself, and that's fine. But even when he stopped himself, when he returned to the court, give me Ja.
Well, first of all, you need to stop trying to dance against Filipinos. They get down. But look, I want to see. Don't you want to see Ja be Ja?
I don't.
When he was Ja, he was one of the best players in the league.
Ja-like things.
He made Memphis box office. Sold jerseys was fun. I want to see Happy Ja. Yes.
But their offense did not make him happy last year. That offense that they ran with the no ball screen, no pick and roll, he was not a happy player out there. He was not a happy guy. They changed the coach. They're back to a different offense that's going to feature him more and have him playing in a way that he's more comfortable playing now. And he lost his running mate. Desmond Bane is gone now. And
Jaren Jackson Jr. out for a while.
This contract situation, right?
So it's all eyes on Ja now. He's going to have to carry them.
But sometimes that's when Ja Morant is at his best, when all eyes are on Ja. Let's not forget the Ja show that we have all grown to love over the years. And then there is Nikola Jokic, a very different kind of show. Recently, DeMarcus Cousins, he shared a story about his former Nuggets teammate. Take a listen here.
You know, I don't remember who at the time had signed an extension, but, you know, I'm like, such and such signed it for his money. I'm like, man, yours gonna be crazy. He was like, you know, cuz I honestly think I might retire after this contract. I said, leave $300 million on the table. I said, Nate, watch your come on, man. Like, I said, sign the contract and just get fat at worst. Like, but don't pass up on the $300 million, bro. Like,
no, you can't do that.
Nah, don't do that. He like, cuz I just want to go lay in my, I believe he called it like a valley or something like that. I just want to lay out there with my horses. I'm like, yo, them horses gonna be there, bro.
Go get your 3,
You tripping. You can get more horses. Go get the 300.
As a horse girl, I identify with the sentiment, but Amon, how surprising is it to hear this about Nikola Jokic?
I mean, it's extremely surprising when we're just talking about the money that we're talking about on the table. But when you saw his reactions to a lot of the stuff in basketball, you can tell, like, he just enjoys life in a different way. Everybody's got their own song that they want to hear, and he definitely hears something with them horses running behind him. It's very Seabiscuit about the situation.
A horse hoof-beat imitates your heartbeat. That's what they say here, Ramona. I feel like we should not be shocked anymore when we hear this type of thing about Nikola Jokic, because I don't totally buy that he isn't interested in basketball. I think he actually is very, very dedicated to this craft. But that thing we all talk about balance, he's actually achieved
Yes, that's right, Malika. And I don't buy it either. I remember talking to Christian Brown last year, and he told me, you know, this whole thing about Jokic in the offseason, that he's off with his horses the whole time. Christian Brown goes, no, he was FaceTiming me all summer watching the Olympic Games. He was in FaceTime. They were engaged in free agency. This guy works so hard to keep his body in the shape that he's in. Look how skinny he is there.
Yeah.
Okay, that guy, he does a weight workout after every game. You know why he takes so long to come talk to the media? Because he's in the weight room after he plays 40 minutes.
Without a doubt.
And so I don't buy this idea that he doesn't care about basketball. I know we see how happy he is with the horses, but you know that's a whole separate thing.
Yeah, T-minus 39 minutes until I'm going to go be with the
That's
horses.
right.
But go ahead,
I
Amon.
think that there's a lot of players in the league that they get that reputation. I don't know where it comes from, but there's always this stigma behind players that they don't work hard, they don't want to do that. A lot of guys won't post it. They want to post what makes them happy, and I think that these horses really do make me want to go get a horse. My man got great stats.
I got one.
Great stats. If that's what get the stats, give me the horse.
I'm going to challenge you to write the definitive Joker story, which I've not read. Because I saw him in the Hoop Summit, I believe it was around 2016 or so, playing against Cat. Nobody knew who he was. And then all of a sudden, this blew up. He couldn't have expected this. He was picked during the Taco Bell commercial.
Right.
Now he's up for $300 million. Like, I wonder where it's just minded. This is just like he hit a lottery ticket. Yes, he's incredible, but I don't think he dreamed of this being this great.
Here's the question with him is, I don't ever think he would retire early or not take that next contract. The question, though, is there's talk of a new league that Maverick Carter and those guys are developing overseas, and he's an overseas player. So the question is, could he be the guy that they pitch? We saw his agent on the boat with Maverick Carter and LeBron James. Could he be that guy who takes the money and stays in Europe instead of playing in the NBA?
That's a very interesting thought exercise for a guy, to Mark's point, that was drafted during a Taco Bell commercial. And when I asked him about that after he won Finals MVP, there's sort of a Mount Rushmore that I keep of quotes that guys have trusted me with. And he said, well, they bet against the fat boy. You never bet. That concludes our capital J journalism for the day. Hey, exactly how we want to end NBA Handles Week. The league, they released the top 50 handles plays. Again, this is the plays of the season, not the players with the best handles, culminating in the top 5 today. Let's show you the top 5 they chose. SGA put Chris Livingston on the hardwood. Quick recovery.
Hey!
This is what he does. And then at number 4, Bub Carrington. He put Tyrese Halliburton on the ground here. It's the skate.
Let's stop on the dime, man.
It's a good day when the Wizards do the show.
Get up!
Nails the 3.
Get up!
And then Donovan Mitchell using the Hornets defense as traffic codes here.
Split, snatch. That was a one-handed sham god.
When it's Donovan Mitchell, though, are you surprised?
I love it.
Coming in at number 2, Trae Young.
There you go.
Slick behind the back move.
Excuse me.
And then he hits the floater.
Excuse me.
We did a segment once, Trae trying to guess whether or not it was a floater or a lob, because they look so similar when it leaves his hand. It's what makes him so tough to guard in a lot of cases. And then number 1, Steph going behind the back